Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Some of you are long-time participants. Some of you are incredibly new. And some of you are going to support me in the future. At least one of you is going to support me in the future. So let me start with introducing everybody, not to myself, because most of you know at least a little about me, to Debbie Meerman.
Yes, hi. Thanks, Björn. I'll be helping Björn in the future, as he said as well. I'm virtual assistant, and in that capacity, I will be, I'm not really sure how I'm going to be helping Björn actually. So it's all really new, but I'm really looking forward to this cooperation and looking forward to this evening as well. And just it's all new to me, and I like new things. So that's about it actually. I'm from the Netherlands. Maybe that's something to say as well. And I have 3 small kids. I told them no screen time in the near future if they're coming to bother me. So, but it is possible that the kids will storm in, and then you know that this weekend they won't be able to see any films. So that's me.
Thank you, Debbie. Yeah, I've asked her to support me in creating a little bit more of a homely atmosphere around our meditations. So in the beginning, she will be also 5 minutes early, be present to welcome you. And if there are any problems with Zoom or whatever, that somebody is there to receive you. I just want to say, I know Debbie 15 years or something like that. We both worked a very long time at TNO, which is a large Dutch institute. And so it's going to be very interesting to join this meditation in a completely different context from science and technology. I also want to welcome Ioana, assistant professor of sociology in Tilburg. Say that correctly? Very good. Would you like to introduce yourself very quickly?
I didn't think that I have to introduce myself, so I don't have anything interesting prepared except exactly what you said.
What's your favorite color?
I'm not sure at this moment. I think.
All right. Unknown. Very good. A mystery. David, Sam, you've been through the whole roller coaster at least a few times. Anything you would like to share to these two freshly embarked ladies?
Myself, I'm Sham. I'm currently, I've been with Björn for almost a year. I know him, and I've been on and off of these sessions. And currently, I am in India, but I've been living in Netherlands for the last 9 years. And looking forward to the session today.
What's your background, Sam?
I'm an engineer by profession, embedded systems. And I've been an engineer all my life, mostly on the computer side of things, computer engineer. Yeah.
Cool.
Welcome. Hi, from my side, I'm David. I'm German, living in London since 11 years, and been here with Björn, I think, for about a year now as well. And a lecturer in finance at university.
All right, very good. Any questions before I start? Trepidations? Anybody nervous? Very good. Most of you know I'm a very hard scientist by training. So at our university, the essential credo was meten is weten. When you can measure it, you know it. As long as you can measure it. So in order to include a little bit of objectivity into this process, I would like to invite everybody just to use your thumb to demonstrate how you are present in the moment, how well are you feeling? You know, are you feeling low? That's somewhere there. Like, not really, no. Well, some good things happened, but I'm tired. Or, hey, I just won the lottery. Let's keep partying. So, one up, one up, one up. A little bit more in the middle, one half. And Sam? Also up. Okay, so that's easy pickings. So instead of happiness, we will focus a little bit on effortlessness. The meditation that I'm going to teach you guys is something that a very good friend of mine taught me. His name is Andrew Venetia. He lives in Belgium, in Ghent. And over the years, we continue to bump in each other, and they're always very interesting meetings. So what we will be doing is a mix between traditional Buddhistic, if not Dzogchen meditations, testing some neurological hypothesis about about the way our visual field interacts with the rest of our brain. And we're just going to be a little bit silly and uncomfortable and do things that we've never done before. Everybody okay with that? Yeah? All right. I also invite you to keep your microphone open, because these sessions are actually preparations, in essence, for my Tuesday meditation, where we meditate 30 minutes in silence. The fun thing is, once you have trained your own attention system to be present enough in the moment, actually a lot of communication can happen in silence. A lot of communication can happen just by seeing each other's face. What we will be doing, for example, everybody will pick one person and you're going to look in their left eye. So everybody point at your own left eye. Yeah, okay. So now pick a person. I've picked one. You can all pick me, that's fine, I don't care. But you can also pick somebody else. David, I know. Sam, you can move it down, it's okay. So what we will be trying is using our left eye, which is normally not very dominant, to look into this other person's left eye. And we will be doing that with a specific kind of gaze. Now, who here ever had the experience that sitting at a computer or a phone screen for 1 or 2 hours or longer, that suddenly you get this tunnel vision? You basically don't observe your surroundings anymore, and you're just in this focused state. Anybody recognize that? Raise of hands. Debbie, not?
No, I try to keep my gaze at other things as well every 30 minutes or so.
Very good, very good. So you're one step ahead of most of us. The reason why I mentioned this, because I don't have the science to back it up yet. The way I see it, we have two ways of looking into the world. We have this narrow focused vision, which is very problem solving. It's like, okay, I'm looking at a detail and I want to understand this detail. I want to label it. I want to categorize it, and I want to solve it. And actually, no, there is science that our brain patterns and brain architecture over time has changed, because in the past, a sailor would not look at a screen. A sailor would just look at the horizon, not at anything in particular, but basically opening up his whole visual field and letting his gaze rest. This is much more effortless now, much more effortless than normal problem-solving state most of us are engaged in. So that's what we're unconsciously will be practicing. While we are doing that, the secondary objective of today is creating a little bit of embodied experience about what it means to take control of your attention system. So normally in Western society, we are not very used to distinguish language from the raw experience itself. Like only when I can talk about it, something is real. We're often not very aware what goes on in our body. So our body gives signals the whole time. These signals are interpreted by our emotional system. This emotional system drives our prefrontal cortex and our neocortex and our language system, resulting in all kinds of beautiful narratives that have been incredibly successful for us individually and as a human species. And at the same time, create limitations that we are not aware of when we, there's a beautiful English word, reify, when we make this world of language sacred. So by training our senses, by training to open up our visual system, by training to be conscious of our posture, our breathing, I hope to give you a little bit of an experience where you notice like, oh, wait a minute. Yes, okay, I notice now I was feeling bored or tired, and this thought came in that seemed terribly important in the moment. And I'm just going to invite you every time back to relax, that those thoughts will come back. You don't need to do anything with them in the moment. We're just going to focus on our breathing and our senses. Any questions so far? Very good. Either I use too many words, or I'm very clear. The last thing is the beginning. So we will not start this meditation just by staring into each other's eyes. Most of my work is founded on something that I call the first psychotechnological principle. And that is based on the observation that our posture somehow has some relationship to our internal states. So the way we stand affects the way we feel, which affects the way we perceive, which affects the way we act. Now, often, of course, with these a little bit softer studies, there's a big problem with placebo effect. Is this really true, or is this just true because we tell people it's true? Now, some research, interestingly, shows that there is, yes, that could still be, this could all be make-believe, and if you're very critical, you're wasting your time maybe doing these exercises. And there is very hard evidence that when you tell people, that we know from measurements posture affects emotions and cognitions a little. The magic happens when you tell people that their posture affects their emotion and position, because now suddenly there is a very large measurable effect, that by giving people some level of control, like, oh, wait a minute, I can actually affect my perception, I can affect my momentary state just by shifting my position, increases the effect. So that's what we're going to do first. Do you want to do the opening yoga, David?
What?
The shoulder exercises.
Lifting the shoulders up, back, down. All right. Well, sit comfortably, the feet on the floor, well grounded. And then we start by lifting the shoulders up to the ears. And then once you pull them back and then down. And then we do it again, up, back, and down, belly down. Then we do it a third time. We lift them up. And now we move them slightly back, but we don't really forcefully put them down, but we just let them slide a bit while staying upright. So the ideal way to say that actually, or feel it, is you have 2 buckets of water in each of your hands. And then you automatically, if you imagine that situation, you automatically have kind of a very straight posture because you have to stay in equilibrium to keep the balance. So that means that the chest is a bit forward, the hands down on the side, but not in front. It's really on the side, because otherwise you would fall over. And then the top of the head is actually quite straight up. I give back to Björn.
Very good. 8.5. Yes, if this feels uncomfortable in the beginning, it should. So you should be in a posture that is different from a relaxed collapse state. So often we might be tempted when we're tired, we relax and we collapse. So now we want to find a position where we're upright, actively sitting, yet still finding a measure of relaxation. And there is this very curious effect. Let's see if I can demonstrate it. That we're not actually trying to pull the shoulders back. We're not trying to push the chest out. We're rotating the sternum, our chest bone up. So I'm finding movement in the upper vertebra to like, oh, wait a minute, I can actually straighten the last few vertebrae a little bit more. Yes, I need to pull my shoulder blades a little bit to each other. But if I now imagine I'm carrying 10 or 20 kilos in each hand, oh yeah, okay, this is what I would call sitting upright. And now we tuck in the chin a little bit so that we really have our head balancing straight on our spine. This sounds maybe like a lot of preparation, but this will help you to stay present. Because when you are in this position, it's only stable if you're present, because you're sitting very upright, you're balancing. So you need to have some awareness of what your body is doing. And whenever you catch yourself slowly slumping, you just go back. The second technique that we're going to use is something that's called the box breath. It's used by special forces, emergency personnel, and it's a very direct link into our parasympathetic nervous system. And what it is, it's a breathing pattern of inhaling for 4 seconds, holding your breath for 4 seconds, exhaling for 4 seconds, and holding your breath while being exhaled for 4 seconds. And we repeat that 4 times. And especially the first 2 rounds, your head might start to generate a lot of thoughts. This is normal. And I invite you, okay, what happens if you do not focus on the voice in your head, but when you just try to sense the sensations in your body? That could be your feet, that could be your belly, that could be your chest, your heart, your throat. And I'm gonna ask you after this breathing session the question whether you feel your body more or less. So that's so that you don't need to think about it afterwards. Very simple question. Everybody ready? All right. One extra instructions, put your hand on your lower belly, because it's important that our belly moves completely outward when we inhale, and that it moves inward when we exhale. About 8 years ago, I had my belly breathing reversed. So my belly went out when I was exhaling and in when I was inhaling. So this is much more comfortable. So we start. Everybody exhale and inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Last round. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. You can continue to breathe normally. So these seem like very simple exercises, yet they can be incredibly daunting on an individual level. If there's any past with traumas, emotional, physical, these simple breathing exercises can actually already start to unlock uncomfortable sensations. That's okay, that's not dangerous. Whenever that starts to happen, just go back to this box breathing. What we'll be doing is sort of a mental juggling with our attention. So I'm going to put more and more challenges on your attention to be aware of your posture, your breathing, your vision, my voice, the silence, etc. When I ask too much of you, you're not doing it wrong. You know, you just go back to the last thing where you felt, okay, I could still feel my body. That could be just doing the breathing for 15 minutes. The last year, I've done this box breath maybe for 6-7 hours a day. You know, just consciously taking control of my nervous system and breathing through any physical sensations that I was encountering. Sam, for you, I want to invite you to, are you okay with making a fool of yourself a little bit for us?
Sure.
Then take off your headphones and I will explain first. Rub your hands over your face, take them off, and just do, and I'll join you just for the heck of it. All right.
I hope that does.
Very good. So for the rest of you, you might have noticed, when, or at least when you start to notice posture a little bit more, Sam sometimes has this wrinkle between his eyes, where he's very hard trying to understand what's going on, and he's very smart, so usually he manages. It also prevents you from relaxing because
Yep.
your brain not only checks your outside, your brain also checks, okay, what is my body posture is telling me? Oh, my face muscles are tense. That only happens when there is a threat or a problem. So because my face muscles are tense, probably there's a problem to solve. So you might also, especially on the Tuesday night, during these beautiful silence meditations, see me just do a crazy face because I feel like, oh, wait a minute, my social conditioning is imposing itself on my relaxation. I feel like, okay, I want to keep up appearances, and just allowing myself to move or even to touch can be an incredible first step in reprogramming your nervous system. Happy? All right, then we have 10 minutes for the actual work. So everybody just check whether you're still in your position, feet flat on the floor, your back not leaning against a rest, your chest a little bit upward. You should feel a little bit of a stretch, an uncomfortable stretch over your chest. That's great. Exhale. And we start with the box breath. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Now you continue in your own time, counting silently from 1 to 4. Very good. And just as a way to not go into some kind of freeze response, if you feel a movement, keep breathing. You can breathe and listen to me at the same time. When you feel suddenly like, oh, wait a minute, there's a little bit more relaxation. There's a little bit more space in my body. I feel my body a bit more. I feel my feet a bit more. Just raise your hand. So anybody who has had a moment during this breathing where they felt something in their body relax, raise their hand. Nobody yet. All right. David? Yeah. Very good. Joanna? Sam? Yeah. Good. So I'm going to see if I can do this without glasses, because that makes my eyes a little bit more accessible. But for the first round, everybody just use your left eye to look at my left eye. And in the beginning, okay, you might feel some tendencies to smile or do something. It's all not necessary. Just practicing our breathing, and we're practicing keeping our gaze focused on one point. And maybe you have a tendency to want to be a good student or a good performer. And you notice like, oh, damn, I'm really focusing on seeing that eye. So in order to help you relax, I want you to take your hands up beside your ears. And now you're going to move your hands forward and backward until you discover the edges of your own visual field. Like if I put my hands here, I cannot see them anymore. If I put them here, yeah, I can see them, but there is a space somewhere here, like, oh yeah, okay. I can now look at Ioana's eye, and at the same time, try to be present to all the shapes and colors that are in my panoramic visual field. Once you have that, you can drop your hands. Especially in the beginning, you just might want to use your hands again during a meditation. Like, oh, wait a minute, where is my expanded view? Okay, there. No problem to solve. What is here, right now, when there's no problem to solve? And for the next 2-3 minutes, this is all we're going to practice. Sitting up straight. Part of our attention focused on the feeling of our feet on the floor. And I feel I can comfortably relax in that. I focus on my breathing, inhaling for 4 seconds, holding my breath for 4 seconds, exhaling for 4 seconds, and holding my breath while being exhaled. And in your own time, just continue. You feel you're bored, to see whether you actually continue to feel your feet, or whether maybe some thoughts distracted you from your embodied experience. Now adding the third ball, our visual field, and allow your gaze to relax. To let all the shapes and colors that are in front of you flow into your awareness without a need to label, to understand. And when you have a sense of seeing all the shapes and colors, I'm going to put a challenge to you. I want you to use your willpower, your conscious effort, to stop yourself from being aware of all the shapes and colors that are in front of you. So keeping your eyes open, you're looking at my eye, my left eye. And now as if you're mentally resisting, as if there's this little man inside your head that's trying, or woman, that's trying to push against this whole visual field. Just want you to make an effort for a minute. What happens when you put all your focus and all your attention on your whole visual field? Can you stop yourself from seeing all these shapes and colors that are in front of you? And let's assume for the moment that you've had an experience where you were not able, using your willpower and effort, to stop yourself from being aware of all the shapes and colors that are in front of you. What happens when you stop making an effort? What do you notice? Does it actually require any effort at all to be aware of all the shapes and colors that are in front of you? And if it doesn't require any effort, can you find a sense of effortlessness Right now, right here, somewhere in your experience. If that's the case, you can raise your hand. Just continuing our box breathing. Just enjoying this last minute of effortless, upright, open, receptive presence. I'm going to count down from 10. And 1, you're going to close your eyes. And we're going to end this meditation. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Close your eyes. And ask yourself the one question I asked in the beginning. Are you now more or less connected to your body compared to when we started? With closed eyes, just show a thumbs up when you feel more connected, more grounded, more present. And a thumbs down and you really, really, really hated the last 30 seconds of silence and effortlessness. And you can open your eyes. Thank you, everybody. That was our session for today.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you have any questions, if you want to linger a little bit longer, I will stay here for another 5 minutes. I can debrief Debbie. And otherwise, I hope to see you next week again.
Thank you.
Bye.
Jon, just one thing. I will be on travel the next week. I will try my best to, because I may not carry my laptop. So I'm traveling around India. So in case I'm not able to join the session with my mobile phone, so you might have to excuse me.
I hear you. I'm actually working on making sure that people can phone in through a landline. Because if you've done this a few times, you don't need video. Just hearing the voice could already be enough. So if you like, I can send you an Indian phone number with which you can dial into the Zoom room. You don't need internet. You don't need anything fancy.
Sure. You could do that.
Yeah? All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Have safe travels.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hoi.
Hoi. Hoe voel je je?
Prima.
Prima. Verschil met van tevoren of...
Ja, nou meer omdat ik altijd wel rugpijn heb.
Ja.
Ik ga ook naar de fysio voor mijn rug en mijn nek. Maar dan nu, toen ik ging zitten, had ik er wel last van en daarna toch wel minder. Dus dat was wel weer goed.
Alright. Heel goed.
Ja, leuk.
Kon je hier iets mee of is dit heel erg ver van je bedshow?
Het is niet heel erg aan mij besteed. Maar ik heb wel eerder, ik heb ook yoga gedaan en dat soort dingen.
Mhm.
En als daar dan te veel meditatieachtige dingen bij zitten, dan haak ik wel snel af.
Mhm.
Maar nee, dit zo een half uur, dat is prima te doen.
Mooi.
Even zen en ja.
Ja.
Ik weet niet waarom ik opeens een beetje slechtere kwaliteit beeld heb. Maar ik zit even bij mijn beeld te kijken. Maar nee, dat is wel interessant.
Ja.
Leuk, ja. En ik vind het gewoon leuk om te kijken wat jij doet natuurlijk. Dus daar gaat het mij meer om.
Ja. Nou, nu heb je hem een beetje in actie gezien.
Ja,
Het is natuurlijk heel divers. Want ik probeer aan de ene kant een beetje wetenschappelijke achtergrond te geven. Van nee, wacht eens even. We zijn hier niet met een of andere zweverige... hoe noem je zoiets? Zweverig geloofssysteem bezig.
nee.
Wat ik heb proberen te doen is echt de neurowetenschap achter heel veel bestaande technieken te deduceren, bij elkaar te zoeken, aanwijzingen voor te vinden.
Mooi is dat.
En ja, dus ik sta er eigenlijk wel bij. Ik geloof echt dat juist voor mensen voor wie dit een ver van hun bedshow is, dit een enorme transitie kan zijn in persoonlijk welzijn, in impact die je op de wereld kan hebben, in weerbaarheid, noem maar op.
Ja, ik geloof er ook heus wel dat het werkt. Het wordt niet voor niks al eeuwen uitgeoefend, beoefend in de hele wereld. Dus wat dat betreft is daar ook genoeg onderzoek naar.
Ja.
Maar, hoe kom je aan deze mensen die nu meedoen? Waar komen die vandaan?
Ik heb de afgelopen 2 jaar in Engeland elke 2 maanden een workshop gegeven met een collega. Daar zijn een gedeelte van de deelnemers van. Sommige deelnemers zijn... Oh god, we hebben weer horzels. Oké, hoi.
Ja, een enorme bron. Nee, maar zoals die Iona, die komt van de Universiteit van Tilburg.
Die ken ik van Tinder.
Oh, echt?
En ik ben nu min of meer een boek samen met haar aan het schrijven. Dus ja. Nooit een of ander seksueel avontuur geweest, maar wel gewoon een hele goede intellectuele klik.
Ja, gewoon een vriendin geworden.
Wat? Nee,
Gewoon een vriendin geworden waar je goed mee kan samenwerken.
Want zij doet bijvoorbeeld dus onderzoek naar de psychosociale voordelen van microdosing met psilocybine. Dus zij is ook in dit vakgebied bezig, alleen dan vanuit een sociologisch oogpunt, waar ik het dan meer transdisciplinair aanvlieg. Heeft zij daar gewoon haar eigen expertise. Dus dat is gewoon heel cool.
Ja, en daarom vindt zij dat dus ook interessant om dat uit te zoeken voor zichzelf.
Dan hebben we nog een paar klanten die via bij mij gekomen zijn, die weekenden gedaan hebben. Zullen binnenkort nog wel wat meer mensen aansluiten. Want goed, ik ga er nu reclame voor maken.
Ja, mooi.
Ja.
En zoals die introductie die je deed, die 2 mannen die hebben dus doen dit al een jaar, dus daar hoef je die introductie niet meer voor te geven. Dus dit was echt voor de Iona en mij dan.
Ja, maar goed, weet je, repetition is key. David heeft dit bijna wekelijks, zo niet wekelijks, met mij gedaan.
Maar die vinden het wel prima als dat steeds weer herhaald wordt ook.
Ja, maar goed, het is nodig. En ten tweede, een gevolg van deze training is dat je juist meer kunt ontspannen in wat er gebeurt. Want je zit niet zo vast aan je instinctieve reacties. Oh, dit is saai. Oh, dit weet ik al. Ja, praat nou maar door. Of kunnen wij nu beginnen? Nee, wat je doet is, je gaat ademhalen.
Je doet juist helemaal niet echt wat. Ja.
Je doet je blik open en je laat gebeuren wat er gebeurt.
Ja, mooi. Oké. Ik was niet helemaal voorbereid op iets over mezelf zeggen trouwens.
Nee, weet
ik dacht,
je deed fantastisch. Dat heb ik hou ervan mensen te verrassen.
Ja, David had ook zo, moet ik die oefening gaan doen?
Ja, maar dat bedoel ik. Maar weet je, dat is wel een manier om ook mensen bij de les te houden.
Ja.
Maar het gaat er ook helemaal niet om dat ik de wijsheid in pacht heb. Ik heb toevallig gewoon wat ervaring met uiteenlopende technieken. Dus ik kan wat bruggen bouwen.
Nee,
Maar
en
ik
als
heb
hij het al een jaar doet, dan kan hij die oefening prima zeggen, inderdaad. Dus dat,
maar ik heb David ook echt al een paar keer gewoon een hele sessie laten leiden. En hij doet dat dan anders dan ik. Maar kan hij ook, weet je. Dat is uiteindelijk een onderdeel van het deconditioneringsproces. Om zelf actief leiding te nemen.
Ja.
Om van, oké, wacht eens even. Ja, ik kan al deze dingen nou voor mezelf blijven oefenen. Maar ben ik eigenlijk in staat deze kennis over te brengen? Het vooral niet alleen de kennis. Ben ik in staat deze ervaring, dit gevoel over te brengen. Wat ik zelf intussen gevonden heb.
Oké. Nee, ja, maar grappig.
Oh, je ziet jezelf al daar zitten over een jaar. En,
Nee hoor. Nee, want voor de andere weken dan is het gewoon prima als ik mensen welkom heet en als ik daarna ook weer uit de sessie ga, toch?
Helemaal goed. Ik kan het je
Dus precies,
aanraden om minimaal 1 keer in de maand gewoon een sessie mee te doen. Gewoon,
ja, dat is prima.
gewoon ook voor onze samenwerking. Je zult merken dat er toch, als je dit 2-3 maanden gedaan hebt, gebeurt er op het menselijke vlak wat. Weet je, we zijn dieren, dat weet je. En op een gegeven moment ontspannen we dan toch net ietsje meer in elkaars aanwezigheid. En net ietsje meer van, oh ja, wacht eens even. We hoeven ons helemaal niet groot te houden. We mogen dingen anders zien. We mogen op ons bek gaan. En oh ja, het is allemaal oké.
Helemaal prima.
Ja, alright.
Ik ga even kindjes voorlezen en naar bed brengen.
Veel plezier, dankjewel.
Fijne avond.
Ja, jij ook.
Hoi.
Hoi.